Go for it.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is a decap attack. The goal of this game is to chuck your head at enemies. You have two heads. You have your skull, and then you have your chest face. You can also hover in the air by tapping the jump button. As you can see, you throw your heads. You throw your head. You have a range attack. When you lose, it takes one hit to lose a skull. When you lose it, you have to find another one back to get it.
Skulls are pretty rare, though, right?
Yeah, there's maybe one per stage, if that. Also, this
Yeah,
game's
and
really nice. It has a bunch of vertical levels in it, which you don't see too often in, heck, many platformers in general. Also, a lot of springs.
definitely.
And it's heavily, heavily momentum-based. If you can see, I'm struggling to get momentum a lot of the time.
Speaking of the rare items thing from a second ago, if you die, then the things you broke open for items don't respawn, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
like a one-time thing.
yeah, if you find a skull in the chest and lose it, then you're screwed for that level. Right, I collect a special item right here. You need to find the special item hidden in chest in each level to beat the game. If you kill the boss without it, it'll say, "Hey, you didn't get it. Now you have to go back and get it." And so you have to go back and get it. This game was actually much different in Japan, and they took it to the US and made it better. Like, honestly, this is a much better game than the Japanese version, in my opinion. Sometimes the slopes will eat your jumps, too, so you have to worry about that. And we're up to the first boss real quick.
Speaking of improvements, they kind of made the same game over and over until they ended up with this one.
Yeah,
There
there's
was
Psycho Fox.
Kid Cool,
Yeah.
Psycho Fox.
Oh, if
They're
you
all
can,
pretty similar, like heavily momentum based and all that.
if you can,
Hovers.
yeah,
Well, I don't think Kid Cool has hovers.
no. Yeah, if you can tell from that, the skull is really, really important for bosses because it will stay on the ground and continuously do damage. Also, when you throw the skull, when it comes back to you, it will also do damage. So you have to put all the islands back together. If you notice, they're puns on body parts. And yeah, hovering is super important in this game. It's pretty straightforward though. You just tap the button and hover. And if you frame perfect hovering would keep you in a perfectly flat line, but that would be 60 inputs per second. Actually, it'd be one every other.
Be 30, right?
30, yeah.
Yeah, so 30.
30 inputs per
This
second.
is a 60 FPS game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you noticed, I went over some air puffs. This is the first time they're included. They'll push you up if you stay on them, and that's something you want to avoid most of the time because it's not as fast. You need it in certain parts, but you want to avoid having to slow down for air puffs. So you want to hit them at the right cycle to have them keep on going. And just timing your skull so it smacks the enemy ahead is really important. Right here is a very dangerous section of the game. You slow down a little bit so this goose will, you'll be able to jump on its head and make it through this section going full speed. After that, if you don't slow down, you'll ram right into the goose and lose health and fall in the lava. And the lava's a one-hit kill in this game. As you can see, the air puffs will push you there. First damage of the game, that's not bad.
This is a very spooky game. Like, not only are you dead, but you're also part skeleton.
Yeah. And I found the head right there. That's the second item necessary. And this has a boss skip, which if I'm good, I'll pull it off. And I pulled it off. It's actually a super, super easy boss skip. All you have to do is hover down to the bottom left. As long as you don't fall straight down right there, the boss won't spawn. Also, if you notice, I don't have any bonus coins. You find those in chests throughout the game. If you get one of them, it takes about 2 minutes to do a bonus, so you really don't want to pick one up. And here is the first auto-scroller out of 2 in the game. So you have a giant totem pole chasing you slowly. If you get hit by it, you lose your life. so you just want to stay to the right of the screen mostly. But the auto-scrollers are really important because you get potions, and the potions are necessary for beating this game as quickly as possible. There's a separate potions menu which I haven't opened up yet, but you'll see later on that I'll start using it.
There's some potions elsewhere, but it's just more convenient to get them in the auto-scroller.
Yeah,
you don't have to go out of your way.
Yeah, you don't lose any time picking up items in an auto-scroller. You do lose time if you take damage, though. You lose 1 second, so hopefully I don't take damage in an auto-scroller. But the second auto-scroller, it's a lot easier to take damage. Also, the chests are consistent. The items will always be in the same chests, so I'm avoiding, the bonus coins and the potions I don't need and anything else that I don't need. Oh, and there's enemies in chests sometimes. Or I guess I call them chests, but they're statues. And so the enemies can hurt you pretty good. So this one's pretty straightforward. I don't need anything in any of these. And that's the first auto-scroller of 2.
Not bad.
Yeah. So here comes the next vertical themed level. Climbing one. This one you'll see me adjusting my momentum a lot. Just so I make sure I have maximum momentum in the air when I need it. And make sure I'm manipulating enemies so they're facing certain ways. Oof. Ah, missed the air puff there. Got a little greedy and thought I had the timing right. That's the first instance of that enemy, but I killed it instantly. That one takes 2 hits to kill, which is a real pain in the butt. Oh yeah, when they ported this game, originally you're playing as a person with a magic turban. And so they changed it in this one, so you're a skull throwing your head. They also changed the music, some of the bosses, some of the layouts. They made the game harder, pretty much, when they released it in the West. At least level layout-wise. Oops. That's fine. I can lose my skull here, because I can get it back pretty much right on the path. And get a heart back. And so here's the next item in the game that you need. Yeah, you can notice the water sound is pretty annoying. I'm used to it, but I know it's not the easiest thing to listen to. Especially because you need to mash it to actually swim fast. So right now, yep, get the puff. There we go. Ah, just a little, not enough height there. Keep the momentum. Let's go through here. Get the skull. And here comes the third boss in the game, well, the second you face. And I'm going to use my potion here. And that really kills the boss faster. This orange stuff right here makes you move slightly slower, so if I get a running jump off these skull blocks here, I can get to the finish a little bit faster. So this game is really not that well known, but it's just a very, very well put together, fun little thing. I'm the only runner with an actual run. There's another runner, and I don't think he ever actually finished a run. So I guess you can't really call him much of a runner. Alright, there, I got it. Got the momentum to go over the top of the level there. So you'll see this in this world. You can fly over the top of the level at some points if you have enough height and hover just well enough. And it really saves a bunch of time. And wasn't the best taking that hit there, but oh well. I can get the skull back and the heart back in the next level. I just have to play it more carefully here. Gonna play it safe here. Ah, those fish. There we go. That's dangerous right there. The thing is, if you notice, your hearts don't transfer between levels. So if you take damage, that's it. Actually, no, wait, it's actually out of
You're
my way to get the
donezo.
skull. Yeah. So I want to make sure I really don't take much damage at all unless I can afford to. That was just a bad jellyfish hit.
So, what you're telling me is you need to be a god gamer to beat this game, right?
Yeah, without dying. Because
Definitely.
everything wants to kill you. Got like no buddies in this game other than the totem poles. Well, not totem poles, the pole vaults. If you notice there's been some red pole vaults sticking out of the ground, I'll come back to those later. Oh, that was dumb of me. Got hit by the fish. Oh well. If you die, you go back to the start of the level. So some worlds are a lot better to die on than others, but preferably you just, wouldn't die at all. I mean,
Like you're not going to die for the rest of this run, right?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that was... Yeah. I got the cycle off on here. Took a little more damage, and that's the thing. One bad level and the damage will just compile onwards and onwards and onwards. And then all of a sudden, you're out. In this world, I will get the health then because it's just faster than risking the death on this boss. And this boss, it's easy to die on.
Thoughts on Armington as a level name?
It's pretty good. See, you have to land. If you land on these straight down, you get health. So I'll just get full health right there. It's a little slow, but it's better than me dying. Also, yeah, you lose momentum in the water pretty quickly too. Those just jumping head enemies, those green jumping whatever monsters are pretty nasty. That and the ferocious fish ones are the worst enemies in the game, pretty much. Jellyfish are not too far off either. So hopefully... Nope.
He definitely does look like that. I can totally see it.
So hopefully I get the skip here. If I get it right, I should... Got it. Fly over the level there. That's a good skip. That saves like 45 seconds or so. And we're coming up on the 4th boss in the game.
So is this better or worse than Super Mario World, would you say? Is this a speed game?
Oh, it doesn't have Mario in it. It's one of the few games of this era that actually does not contain any traces of Mario.
Well, yeah, but you still fly over the levels. So it's basically the same game.
Yeah. Except for cool kids play Genesis games. Oh, cool. I only took one hit, that boss. That's got the 2 cycle on it. That one's just timing your shots just right. And get the goal. And so now we're coming to the worst, by far the worst world in the speedrun, which is Pumpington. Oh man. Pumpington's just a real pain in the ass because it's a lot of precision platforming mixed in with a lot of annoying enemies. They pretty much threw all the annoying enemies in this world.
Yo, there's a question in the chat you should probably answer.
What is it?
Hello, unusual chef. What is your any percent and 96 exit time in this game?
Oh man. Any percent is the same as 96 exits. There's no exiting this game. Can't quit.
You can't leave it once you
That
start.
was pretty much a perfect 5-1 right there, though. I got all the timings just right and flew over it. And now we come to the second auto-scroller. I should have tried having the health refilled, but that had been slow, so I didn't. This is, another spot where you get some of the items we need. And this one, it's actually fairly hard for an auto-scroller because you need to hover around the top of the level so you can get all the power-ups that you need. So most of the time I'm going to be invisible. This one, though, it only takes up the bottom of the screen, so if you stay along the top, you won't take damage. And it does, yeah, that tongue attack. Or, I don't know, yeah, it does that attack that you really want to avoid, or else you take damage and it just slows everything down. So you really want to just be hovering along the top. There we go. That's important. I get the skull back. And most importantly, the health. Because you can always recover the skull if you need to in the next level. But the health is you can't. Are there any other questions in this?
There's one that's kind of a question. Is this level going to be frame perfect?
No, I messed up actually. Because I took damage right
what
there
the
getting
heck,
greedy
dude?
for the
You
health.
beefed it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I got tongued. So Pumpington 3 is probably the hardest level in the speedrun. It's a lot of enemy manipulation, correct hovering. Because if you miss anything off just a little bit, you really lose time. Oof, like there, I almost died. Because if you fall here, you go right into the lava and that's it. I got the top knocked off that snail-like enemy, which is important, which means I can continue my momentum. And here comes the hardest boss in a casual playthrough, this mole. It's just
This boss is a pain casually.
Yeah, because he pops up, he throws very hard to avoid projectiles, and I got the 2 cycle. Nice. And I timed the boss right. Oh, a frame perfect 5-1. It wasn't frame perfect, if you're talking about that, because I didn't get the great start. Here comes another big pun in this game. The next leg of this journey will take us to Last Leg Land. I'll be here for the next 15 minutes, guys. Gotta squeeze in all these anatomy-based puns. That was not a great start, though. At least I got my momentum here, which matters. There we go. So Last Leg Land can be a pain. It's ice physics in a game that has heavy physics momentum to it, so it's really easily that's mean of that game to do that. So now I have to wait. For the enemies to get off. That's bad. That wasted a good amount of time just because that enemy spawned in a really bad position. So it hit me instantly. I lost all momentum and fell. That's just, yeah, that was just bad to have happen to me.
Why the heck is there both ice and lava here, dude?
Because Max Decap wants to eliminate, the human race.
Oh no. This is part of his evil plan?
Yeah.
Is that something they ever explained, or is it just he's evil and you gotta
He's
get him?
evil, man. There's actually a comic book series. It was the longest running Sonic character in a comic that was not actually Sonic. Like, from a Sega, it's the longest Sega game character. That's what I meant. It's the longest running comic of a Sega character that wasn't Sonic. Because he appeared in a bunch of the Archie comics, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I never read the Sonic comics. Don't care about Sonic that much. Even though I'm playing a Genesis game, I'd rather play Chuck D. Head's Amazing Adventures, trying to stop Max Decap. I got jellyfished. This spot's annoying because you just have to build up your momentum. And you have to wait for the enemies to clear out or else you'll take damage, lose momentum, and fall. And the enemies will respawn as soon as you go off screen too, so that's nice. Those penguins are really annoying in that aspect. This one again, you just need to build up enough speed. And the skull is just incredibly useful here. And like I said, just enjoy the music too, it's really good. Yeah, this is the longest level in the game that's not an auto-scroller. So it's nice to have that go pretty well. And then this one, again, it's a pretty maze-like area. If you know where you're going, it's pretty quick, though. Not as mazy as, you know, some Genesis games like Kid Chameleon. Good luck beating that game casually.
I tried that. I couldn't really do it.
Well, he made like a million exits, and only one of them's the right one.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Got that. Ah. Got sprung. This area is pretty dangerous. It's faster still to save my power up for later, though. Almost fell in the lava, but I didn't, so it's all good. See, that's what happens if you get to a pole vault with not hitting the top section. You just kind of hug it if you're lower, and you get a less spring if you're higher. Also, we're at the 6th boss in the game. The Yeti.
He's dead, dude. Sometimes he wants a hug. And sometimes he just wants to ram his face into things, you know?
Alright,
and this is Chuck D. Head, though. Is the best frame of animation he has the one where he takes damage?
Oh, I think the one where he has his face out like this is good. That's my favorite when it's like fully extended with a cheeky smile.
That's really good, too.
So that boss, if you don't get that potion, you will. There's no way you will 2-cycle it. And the cycles take that's an extra 30 seconds. Because the music is just that damn good. It's because it has a superior Sega Genesis quality that the Nintendo just doesn't have. If I wanted muddy tunes, you know, I'd boot up one of those Super Nintendo games. Just joking. That's just old console war fanboys. I mean, we're all over that, right? There's no more of that out there, right? People grew out of all that good stuff.
If they're speedrunning, I don't think they grew out of anything.
They grew out of their pants to 10 more size larger. Sorry, I don't mean to insult everybody. Alright, this is where I use the invincibility power-up just to get through all these fishes. And these ones, if you don't run full speed, if you stutter step through them, they'll lunge and not hit you. If you run full speed, you'll take damage. Alright, 7-2 is the shortest level in the game. It's still a fairly hard one to get perfectly down. Just did a little bit too much there. But yeah, the worst part about this game, though, if you game over, you go all the way back to the start of the world. So going back through some of these worlds, if you don't know where the hidden item is really a pain in the butt, casually. Jump over that fish. But, would you recommend this game to people?
I'd say it's a pretty good Genesis game, which is
lose health?
kind of hard to find, to be honest.
Dang it. I timed that. Just timed that a little off. So I'll actually be entering this boss in a precarious position. I might die now because I took that damage. Rip. I'll get this backup one. And that threw off the timing for that. Oh well. And I missed the air puff. Ugh.
Oh, dude. I think as far as saying if this game is good or not, the main thing I can compliment it on is even though it's so dependent on momentum, you still feel like you have a lot of control.
Yeah.
Especially with being able to hover in the air, you can fix anything you screw up.
Yeah, and you can stop a lot quicker. You're like, Kid Cool, if you mess up, oh, you're dead. There's no two ways about it. You are just instantly dead. The time's coming up after this boss fight will probably be another 30-something seconds. then I use this power up because it does twice the damage. Oof, it's gonna be cutting it close now. Nope, got him. Alright, time's coming up.
Nice.
And time.
25:42.
Dude, that's 20 seconds off my PB. It's not bad at all. I messed
Nice
up having to
run.
get health. So that's pretty good. But can we stay and watch this cutscene, though? It is a wonderful cutscene. It's very 90s.
Sure.
It's about 3 minutes long. 2 minutes long. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for sitting through a spooky game like this. I want to thank my pal Ion for commentating because he's the only other person I know who's beaten this game. Thanks, Ion.
It's hard to watch, honestly. Like, I'm hiding behind my couch the whole time. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. I can only play
Alright,
a little bit at a time.
Thanks for the run.
Yeah, I mean, the cutscene's almost done if you
Oh,
don't
okay.
mind.
Not done yet.
No,
Yeah, I
it's a
don't
long cutscene.
It's
is where it
longer
solves-
than I thought.
This is where it creates more questions of which head is the actual head. See a true happy ending. It's almost done. And the credits actually do like the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror stuff where they give spooky names to all the people who helped create this game. So thank you, Darkside Toshi. And all the other
Thank you,
Dr.
Charlie.
Suzuki. Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Professor. Thank you, Buffoon Yamaguchi. Yeah, it's just giving the credits now, so you can cut it for the next thing. If you want.
All right. Thank you again.
Yep. Thanks for having me here, guys. Peace.